Aquarius, Aquarius, Aquarius. How you guys doing? Aquarius, I know I left y'all hanging. And I know it's been, a week when I started this series. My sister surprised me with a trip to Hawaii. And I was gone. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to do it in Hawaii. But there was like no time. And the time change really kind of fucked me over to you guys. So I apologize for keeping you waiting as long as I have. We're going to get into it. And what Tough Shit message is, I want to tackle what could be holding you back or what could be keeping you stagnant so that you can work on it and maybe start releasing it to have a smoother transition into 2020. Now, some of you are going to realize that you've already started working on a lot of these issues, so this is not going to be new to you. But for those that are still kind of complacent or stagnant, this may give you a starting point to let you know exactly where you're at, what you need to focus on, what maybe you need to let go of so that you're not carrying dead weight or baggage into 2020. We're going to use Tough Shit Tarot. I love this deck because it's very direct, straight to the point. Can be a little harsh sometimes, but it's the truth when it comes out. So for a lot of you, this may pinpoint exactly what you need to focus on to move you forward. So let's get into it, Aquarius. Aquarius, Aquarius, Aquarius. Tough shit. What do they need to hear, Spirit? What do they need to hear? Aquarius. All right, Aquarius. Let's see. You are in a messy situation and you're in deep. It's only going to get worse from here, so count your losses and change direction. You believe that your gossip is well-intentioned, but when you look closer, you will realize that it is mostly self-serving. Look inward at your own fears and jealousy. Your current love interest is a great fit for you, but you're showing your affection in an unhealthy way. If you aren't careful, you may drive them away. Your planned course of action at this time is reckless, dangerous, and unnecessary. You are only behaving this way for external validation from your peers. The glory you perceive will be short-lived and unfulfilling. Consider another choice that reflects your true desire. It's time to get angry and stand up for yourself. Try not to speak through your emotions, but instead communicate from a clear-minded, centered place. This card indicates loneliness, disconnection, possibly depression. You are not physically showing up in your life. Start by taking a shower, dressing up, spending a little time out the house. Just 15 minutes of people watching at a coffee shop will do a world of good, and you can even help find confidence to get involved in some local groups. God damn. Aquarius. Okay, so let's get into it. So Aquarius, it looks like some of you may be putting yourself in a situation that you don't need to be in, especially when you deal with card number one, because card number one is about being in a messy situation and it's not getting better. For some of you, if you're dealing with, and it's right next to the gossip card. So if you're dealing with a lot of gossip, he said, she said, underhanded things where people are telling you secrets and you're telling them to other people or vice versa. You could be telling your secrets to somebody else and they may be throwing you under the bus. For some of you, Spirit is saying be really careful, possibly with what you're sharing, because you could be putting yourself in a situation where it's like, I want the attention, but you're getting the attention in a not so positive way. Now, of course, this will not reflect on every Aquarius, but for some, there could be a situation where there's a lot of gossip, there's a lot of talking, and somebody is using this as a way to build up their status. Like, look at me. You know, I know everything, or I have the juice, or I know what's going on. Now, for some of you, this could just be an outlet because it's showing for a few that you're bored. So gossip may be something that is, giving you life right now. Be careful, though, that you don't cross boundaries to where all of a sudden you're the scapegoat. And it's like, oh, well, so-and-so said, and you're like, well, wait a minute. All I did was repeat what was said. But be really careful, because I feel like for some of you, there could be this thing of getting thrown under the bus by other people by what you say. And I get something with over talking or overextending yourself. Be really careful that you're not volunteering more information than what is needed. It's almost like, okay, I'm going to say this because they asked the question. Answer the question, but don't give any more information, because I feel like for some of you, you're oversharing when asked the question, and that could be how the situation even starts. Now, for some of you, it really is showing that this year there could have been some communication issues with people around you, where it's like, okay, I'm expressing myself, but then it turns into this fuck fest where, people are saying that I meant this, or there's communication issues. Some of you, it's not you, it's the people that you're dealing with. You're dealing with some people that may thrive on messy situations, messy conversations. Some of you, you could be in groups where there is a lot of gossip, where people are forming cliques, and it's like, okay, let's talk about this person, but then they're coming back around and talking about you. So you might want to be careful with that. It is showing for a lot of you that there needs to be a clear communication. Now, if you're with people where your words are misinterpreted, or there's always a misunderstanding, you may need to go ahead and walk away from that group, because I feel like there's a lot of confusion when it comes to communication. And I feel for a lot of you this year, it's been a year like, I want to say Mercury was in retrograde the whole time for some of you. It's like, I didn't mean this, or either you're trying to talk, but you're not giving the full story. Make sure that you're really very clear, Aquarius, moving into 2020. Some of you are giving like a story, and you're expecting people to pick up the other part of it. Almost like, read my mind. I need more. But you're not telling the person you need more, or I need your help, but you're not telling the person this. Some of you are very, you're having issues with communication, and you're expecting people to pick up the other end of it. You want to let that go. If you're kind of throwing out 3 hints and the person is not getting it, sometimes it's like, okay, you know what? I need help. That's what I need. I mean, because you could be up there talking about, oh, my car broke down, my light bill is past due, the kids are sick, but I'm having a hard time financially, and you're waiting. Okay, so when are they going to come in and jump in and say, I'm going to help you? And they're not, because they don't either want to, or they feel like you're giving hints, or they're like, you're not being clear with your communication. So your thing moving into 2020, if you want it, ask for it. Ask for it. Don't sit up there and be passive, especially with things that you need. If you need it, ask for it, because I feel for some of you, there's this thing of putting something out there, but not being very direct with it. Now, for a few, like I said, it's not you communicating. It's some people that you're dealing with where they're messier. They're looking for underlying things to get involved with, which means that you could be talking to somebody and be very clear, but this person is going back and saying things and changing the story up, because they're either trying to have some type of validation from your story, or this could be you needing validation from other people. Now, for some of you, it's showing that you're looking for some type of appreciation or validation for what you've done. My philosophy on that is, do things out the kindness of your heart and let it go. Let it go. There are going to be people that you sit up there and, let me see, I'm sorry, you guys, that's my baby. Let me call her back real quick. How much time we got? Oh, we'll finish this in a few minutes. Or I'll call her back in a few minutes. I'm so discombobulated right now. If she calls back, then I'll have to let you go, Aquarius. But let's continue. I feel like for a lot of you, there is this thing of wanting to be appreciated and needing to be appreciated. And it's like, I'm doing everything for you, or I'm doing this for you because I need some acknowledgement. For some of you, this is like a pat on the head that you never got from a parent, and you're looking for this from other people. The thing about it is, you need to be very cautious that you're not putting energy into people that aren't giving you anything back, because it's showing for some of you that you could be in a situation where you're doing things for validation, but you're not getting it reciprocated. It's almost like, I'm going to come to your house and cook you dinner, and I'm going to come to your house and clean, and I'm going to pick up your kids and take them to school for you, or I'm going to cut your yard because it's right next to my yard and I see you only have a little bit of grass. And then the person comes home and they're like, and you're like, okay, I didn't get a thank you, or I didn't get a pat on the back or a thumbs up or whatever. And it's because you're dealing with some people that are ungrateful. And you're continuing to try to get attention or get some type of validation from these type of people, and they're taking advantage of you. A lot of you dealing with energy vampires that are just expecting it. Do for me. Yeah, come cut my grass. Yeah, cook my food. Yeah, make up the bed. Yeah, buy me nice gifts. But there's no acknowledgement of anything that you're doing. Stop doing it, Aquarius. Stop doing it. If you're sitting up here and you're putting yourself in a situation where you're doing and doing and doing and doing and you're not getting anything out of it, you really can't blame it on the people that you're doing it for. You have to look at yourself and go, why am I doing it? And for a lot of you, it's for validation. Look at me. Look at what I do for you. Give me props for what I do for you. If you have to do that with people, you're fucking with the wrong people, Aquarius. You have to. The people that truly appreciate you see what you're doing and they show appreciation back. If you're dealing with people that are not showing you appreciation back, they're not fucking with you that way. You're pouring your energy into a dark hole, a bottomless pit for some of you, because you're not getting it. Now, for some of you, because of these situations, it's showing that there could be loneliness, disconnection from people, feeling like, I don't really connect with you. There's no, we're not like this. And it's because you're trying to connect with people that are either incapable of giving it back to you, or they really just don't want to. So for some of you, this could be setting up depression in you. You have to take away that, this could be your love language where you're wanting to do service for people. But you could be dealing with people that service is not their love language, so they don't appreciate it. If you came over here and cooked for me, I would be like, oh my God. If you came over here and did my laundry, I would be like, oh, I'm keeping you forever. I love you. Thank you. Because my love language is service. And I understand when people do service, I understand the energy and the love that comes from that. But if you're dealing with people that's not their love language, they're not going to appreciate it, Aquarius. So you got to stop doing it. For some of you, you're not happy. You're holding an emotion. You're not being very upfront with how you feel. And it's showing that it's time for you to assert yourself. It's time for you to stand up and say, look, I need you to acknowledge this. Now, if they do, good. If they don't, move on. For some of you, it's saying that you have to change direction if you're going in a direction where you're not being appreciated. So if you keep doing and doing for people, you're going to realize you're going to be burned out. For a lot of you, you're already burned out and you're going into 2020 with that same energy. Spirit is saying, stop it. Put your time and energy into people that appreciate you. Put your time and energy into things that make you happy. It's not selfish. Even if your love language is service, you can still do service to people that appreciate. There are organizations out there that are looking for people that will come in and work and put their energy into something where you get something back from that. And one of the cards is even saying that. Maybe you need to look into your local groups, look into activities, look into hobbies, dealing with people that really do what you do and they love it. Stop wasting your energy on people that are not appreciating you if you feel unappreciated. For some of you, it's showing in relationships that you're overly putting too much into things. Or you could have somebody who's doing this to you and there's no appreciation. Make sure that if somebody's really going above and beyond it, you're like, I appreciate you. I thank you. For a lot of you, I feel like you've already conquered this. You're moving into 2020 with the understanding of who's there for you, who has your back, and who doesn't. And for some of you, the last couple of years has shown you this. I thought we were buddies. Now I realize that we're not. I thought we were friends. Now I realize that we're not. So I'm cutting you away and I'm focusing on the people that actually show some type of consideration or appreciation for me. These are the people that I'm calling my friends. These are my soul family. So Aquarius, I feel like a lot of you are moving into 2020 where you found your soul family. You're collecting people now because now you realize your worth and you know what you need. But for some of you, you're still putting things into a bottomless pit and it's keeping you stagnant. And you're expecting people to change for you. If they're not changing, if you've been doing this for somebody for a whole year and they're not changing, then you kind of have to look at yourself and go, maybe I need to change. Maybe I need to stop doing what I'm doing. Maybe I need to move in a different direction. If some of you are being a servant to a person that you love, you might want to stop. I'm not going to say don't take care of this person, but if some of you are doing it to the detriment of yourself, where it's like, I'm going to pour everything into you to make you happy, but I'm not happy, you're going to have to stop doing that. It's almost like being a people pleaser, but to the point where you're breaking yourself down. You're making somebody else happy. And for a lot of you, I feel like people aren't even asking you to do this. You're doing this out of your own accord. This is something that you want to do, but it's showing that for some of you, you could be making people in your life feel uncomfortable because you're pouring and pouring and pouring into their bucket, and some of them are not feeling the same way about you. So it's time to use your discernment. If you're giving everything you have to someone and they're not reciprocating, you need to cut that tie, because it's showing either they don't want to or they can't, and they're draining your energy and it's making you unhappy. And some of you are feeling disconnected. You're dealing with depression. And for some of you, you really need to go ahead and stand up for yourself. Make sure, though, that you don't stand up out of anger. Some of you are going to be waiting too long to have conversations with people. And then when you do, it's like you're going to blow up. You can't be upset with people for things that you do, that you choose to do. If you put energy into somebody for a whole year and they did nothing but take, you have to hold your accountability for that and take it. You have to. But now you know better. Now it's like, I don't have to keep doing this. I'm going to move in a different direction because this is unhealthy. And for some of you, if you have this undying need of service, I need to do this for people, I need to take care of people, there are organizations out there that need your energy. There are kids that need your energy. There are elderly that need your energy. There are groups that would gladly support what you're bringing to the table. For some of you, you may need to go ahead and do that if you have this overwhelming sense of the need to serve. But make sure that you're not pouring into a black hole and people are just draining you, Aquarius. Some of you definitely have to let that go, especially wanting this thing to get acknowledgement or validation. The people that you're fucking with are not going to do it. If they haven't given it to you this whole year, they're not going to do it because they expect it from you. There's nothing special in it with them anymore. Their expectations is that you're going to do what you do and they're going to take. Some of you got to cut these takers. You got to cut them and you got to move in a different direction, Aquarius. For a lot of you, you've already figured that out and you're looking for your soul family and you're moving into 2020 strong. For those that are still kind of struggling with it, be patient with yourself, be kind to yourself, but start looking at the people that you're dealing with. If they're not giving back to you, it's time to go ahead and close that door, because if not, you're going to be drained in 2020 and you're going to be moving in a pace that is just woe is me and stagnation and just stress. And it could cause health issues for some of you if you don't disconnect from that energy, especially if you're dealing with energy vampires that are sucking you dry. Aquarius, put yourself first. There's so many opportunities to serve organizations and people that really need it. Look for those opportunities. Put your energy into something good that actually gives you something back. All right, you guys. Mwah, I love you.